What's up, everybody? Big Mac Sports here. Wednesday, good news for Brock Purdy. It's good news Wednesday. So it looks like Brock Purdy, he will start going towards his way to health, and it will start February 22nd. So that's good news for the San Francisco 49ers. They could have they needed good news for this kind of news to happen for them. So it's good for them. Good for the San Francisco 49ers. Good for Brock Purdy. Looks like they have a 3-month window and then he can start throwing again. And then the 6 month that he'll be ready to go. Just some back on that. He may still need to. Um, he may still need to wait a little bit longer just to get healthier and not have the just not have the mind to have the mindset to be out there playing in a pro game. And so we'll see what happens with that. That's really good news for the San Francisco 49ers, which they really needed here in the last couple of weeks. So um and it'll be a good one. It'll be a good one for the San Francisco 49ers, that quarterback room. There looks like they're going to roll out with two quarterbacks, two really young quarterbacks, Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. Um, I, just from my point of view, I wish that Brock Purdy will take a little bit more time to get that arm fully 100% because the injuries, it takes a while. And um, they say that these kind of injuries, you come back and you're a lot better with throwing and arm strength and everything because you're rehabbing that arm and it gets really good. So yeah, just wanted to jump on here and let everybody know the good news. You heard it here on Big Mac Sports. Everybody's reporting about it. It's all across. And great for Brock Purdy. That's really good news for him. So uh Debo was actually on one of the shows earlier with Stephen A and talked about a little bit about what happened on that Eagles game where they knew everybody just crowded the box after they lost Brock Purdy and Josh Johnson. So if they would have been able to carry another player, another quarterback in there, it would have been really good for them. So I'm glad for this good news that Brock Purdy, February 22nd, will begin his timeline to get surgery and then get better. So it's going to be a really good season for the San Francisco 49ers coming up. If he can get 100% healthy and be ready to go, then I see a good open competition next this coming fall between him and Brock Purdy, between him and Trey Lance, I mean. And so it'll be interesting to see how everything develops and what other quarterbacks would the San Francisco 49er need to get. Uh, do they bring a veteran? Who knows? Do they draft one guy? That's up to them. But they need to for sure bring somebody else in the draft. And, if the NFL does not change how many quarterbacks that they can bring into a game, um, you can just draft the quarterback and put him in a different position and give him a different title. So that way, when they get into a game and if they lose two quarterbacks like they did last time, then all they would need to do is plug that other quarterback in. But at least you can have somebody else develop and fully ready just to go because we lost two quarterbacks in that NFC Championship game, and they could have used that third guy in there. So hopefully they can do some things like that, bring some guy in that used to play quarterback and be able to help that team out. The other thing is they need to clear up and get somebody under contract as a right tackle. Maybe get another young guy at right guard just to back up there. It seems like that we get a lot of players hurt on the offensive line, so they'll need to address those those things, and also address the some options in the defensive side of the ball. A cornerback, and if Jimmy Ward does decide to leave, they need to address that also. But that's the news for today. I just wanted to do a real small, quick recap of the news that the San Francisco 49ers really needed some uh, good news. And this Wednesday, they got good news. So it's not going to be the bigger surgery that they needed for Tommy John surgery. It's not that one. It's the smaller variety. So it's 3 months to 6 months. 3 months of being able to get that surgery done, and then in 3 months he can be able to throw, and then 6 months he'll be able to fully compete. So it's going to be really interesting that they will have a good competition coming this fall between Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. So that's the good news for today. And uh, I will do one live probably Friday, maybe tomorrow. I'll do a live, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, so in the meantime, there's your story. Oh, and by the way, I put up a short yesterday, and it was supposed to say, "Can you guess my all-time favorite NFL football player?" And I meant to say on it, this is a hint, and the hint is he was a defensive player, and he amputated one of his fingers to get back into the game. So if any of you know who that player is, put it in the comments and let me know. If you can guess right, then I'll give you a high five. How about that? But or you can come on the show and do a live one with me. So look forward to Friday. I'm gonna try to get a guest in. Don't know who it is yet, but we'll be able to do it. Stevo Supremo, man, you're just too good, bro. What is his name? He wore number 42. You're correct. So one of the biggest players that I ever wanted to follow, and this is why I decided to play football in the first place, was that guy, Ronnie Lott. Um, I got I love the big hits. I love hitting. Um, so in rugby, I hit a lot of people. Uh, there was a I don't know if people did this before and they got in trouble for it with the New Orleans Saints, where you hit guys and they get out. So my brother used to tell me how many people hit you can hit and they get out of the game, and this is in rugby, and he'll pay me like $20 or something like that. So one game I took out like 5 guys, and he paid me $100. So that was pretty cool. Hey, Atwater and Lynch, man, those guys were hitters too. But Ronnie Lott was before those guys, and I just loved his game, and it was just crazy, crazy. I I wanted to play safety. I had the speed and everything, but they put me in as those thumper type linebackers. So I was a backer. Um, I had an interesting conversation today because I think a lot of people and I myself had a misconception of what about Joe Montana. So I had an interesting lunch today with one of Joe Montana's friends, and he was just saying that Joe Montana he he just goes in there and talks and says what he feels, and right now he feels that they should start somebody in there like what he said about Jimmy Garoppolo, right? So he said that, and I was like, so why would Joe even say those kind of things then? And he's like, well, that's just how Joe Montana talks. He feels that he should say something, and that's on the top of his mind, and he will say it just the way that it comes to his into his mind. And I was like, well, we don't need Jimmy Garoppolo, so he's like, Well, yeah, but that's just Joe. That's how Joe Montana he talks, and so um, that's I just heard it from a source that's really close with Joe Montana on the type of how Joe Montana thinks. So, and I was like, man, can you just put him on this show for one time? So who knows? Who knows what will happen? But that was an interesting conversation I had with my buddy. Um, so we'll look to see if I can get some of these guys in here. But you guys all guessed it. Ronnie Lott, he is the guy. What's up, Wolf? I tried to tune in as best I can to Wolf's um, channel last night. Going in between, I didn't have good service where I was at, but you guys said some really good, interesting stuff in there, and it was really good to hear from everybody. I had the pleasure of being on Raj's show yesterday, and that was pretty cool. I, it's really cool to get together and collaborate with everybody here on YouTube and just get everything off our minds on how we think our the teams, whoever we root for. I mean, obviously, I root for the San Francisco 49ers, but there's a lot of people that I'm a players type of guy. I know a lot of, I watch a lot of players go through from junior high to high school, and they're in the pros now. And it's just fantastic that they're there and they're doing their thing and playing professionally. So that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch when kids grow up and they go through that. And I'm watching that with the four brothers that are here in the southern Utah area with the Sewell boys, and they're three of them are in the NFL, and the youngest will hopefully get into the NFL this year with the team. And I'm hoping he comes and plays for the red and gold. That's who I'm hoping for. Montana, yep, you're right, Steve. Montana was replaced by Steve Young, and Jimmy G is getting replaced by two young, really good quarterbacks. And you're absolutely right on that. Um, but Jimmy G, he's just I think his time is done. It's done here with San Francisco. And I went over this with Raj yesterday, um, and thinking on the ways that players think. They go into the league like Jimmy. He made a ton of money, crazy amount of money already, over $100 million with the San Francisco 49ers. But in that instance right there, where if you were able to, and we don't know if he was able to or not, I doubt that he was able to go because there was no clearance by the doctors for Jimmy Garoppolo to be able to play in the NFC Championship game. I didn't see it anywhere. I asked Raj about it on his channel last night, yeah, or yesterday, and there was no reports of he being cleared by the doctor. So, um, but if he was, my philosophy was if you are able to play and you can get that sixth ring and you play for that, I mean, because what other team is he going to go to that's going to be able to have him come on and have the opportunity to play in a championship game? Um, so I don't know what team that he can go to and do that. The opportunity was there for him. So if he was able to go, my mindset was, why weren't you able? Why didn't you do it? Because you had the opportunity to go in there, be that hero again, and be able to come in and save the day and have a chance and the opportunity to play for a Lombardi. Um, yeah, you're right. I saw him with the scooter. With so Steve will just put this up. He was still using a scooter that week. You're absolutely right. He was. I saw that on some of the um or when Larry Krug was interviewing some of the players, he would come by behind them with on a little scooter. And so I thought that also, but we just have to, if he was able to go, what I'm saying is like if he was, I hate if questions, but this is a if one. If he was able to go, why didn't he go? Because he would have been able to beat a hero, first of all, in the NFC Championship game, and then make it to the Super Bowl. And if he was able to win in the Super Bowl, hold up a Lombardi trophy, and then his stock would have rose from there. Um, so he would have had that in his background. Uh, I'm just gonna read off some of these. So Niner Wolfgang, what's up, Wolf? That's the thing about Jimmy G. He doesn't seem to care to be great, just enough to get paid. You know, that is a good analogy on stuff because we have players like that in the NFL where they're first round, second round draft picks, and they just come into the league and think that hey, we're it and we deserve this, and they have that the mentality of thinking that everything is they get all the um, they can do whatever they want to. They don't have to to practice as hard. And that's one of the biggest things between a first round player and a player like Brock Purdy. He went in there, he showed him what he can do. Picked last in the NFL draft. He was a seventh round pick, the very last one, Mr. Irrelevant. And he showed that he can be in the league, that he belongs there. And then you have guys like Dante Pettis, who freaking paints his fingernail and thinks that he doesn't have to be the great at everything. That is something that NFL players that come into the NFL, your window is short to be a a pro player, first of all, and then second is that it's not going to be there all the time. There's injuries that can happen. There's like other things besides being on the field and playing on Sundays, is that you can get in trouble somewhere else. That's the kind of mentality that I was big on before that game, especially with Charles Menahue. I think it was Charles. Correct me if I'm wrong. With that incident with his girlfriend, right? Fred Warner was preaching to all of the players, "Hey, we got to play for our team. We got to play for our brothers, and keep everybody." He's trying to keep everybody in the right track, right frame of mind to because their ultimate goal was to win a championship, and that didn't happen. So, just gonna go over to another comment here. Um, yeah, I don't think Jimmy will get another opportunity to win a Super Bowl. If he goes to another team, he won't get that opportunity. But there are guys that are in the NFL that are just there to make some money. And they already have money before, and they're just fine with not doing their 100% best. But Jimmy, I don't know what other team can he go and play at that will have a roster like the 49ers that he can have that opportunity and that chance to win a Super Bowl. I don't think he's going to find one out there. So, um, hey, I appreciate everybody's comments in here. I just doing my little 30-minute rant. It's 18 minutes in, and so I'll just go through here. So it's just a 30-minute show today. Niner Wolfgang. Through all the BS that just happened, I forgot about Mayhew's case. Yeah. Um, and Steve will put in here. Kyle was mad Jimmy didn't give the playbook back. That's a good one. Um, I think Kyle was mad that in a lot of things. First, I mean, the way that he answered all the reporters of just talking, saying to all the reporters, was it his fault that this player got hurt? Was it his fault that this player did this on the field? So that's a lot of things that Kyle does. So um, I think he was he was mad that he wasn't able to get another player, and that's why I put that Taysom Hill out there. Um, because he can come in as a tight end or somebody like him. It doesn't have to be anybody. There's a lot of guys that used to play quarterback in high school and college that are playing receiver um, or kickoff return guys. So there's a lot of players that can come in that they can designate them as a different position, but then be able to, hey, we need you in here now, type deal. Because Debo even said it earlier today when he was on that there's never been in a time. Kyle Shanahan talked about it. His dad, Mike Shanahan, that you saw 4 players go down and 2 players in the same game, and you don't have a quarterback except for Christian McCaffrey, who was their next guy, and if after Christian McCaffrey would have been Juszczyk. But I mean, with all the talent and everything that they bring onto this team, they need to look for a player like that if they're going to have one. They're going to have the. I know they're going to. I think they're going to go through and pick up a quarterback late in the draft. So hopefully they can do that. But I think that's a that's something that they should do. They should be able to maneuver around some different things and have players in there, so that way, uh, if they are ever caught in this situation again, and I hope they don't get caught in this situation again next year, and that we'll have everybody healthy and in place and have a good right tackle in place, that San Francisco will go and have a good NFC game, NFC West Championship or NFC Championship game, because the big what ifs of this offseason and from here on out is, what if we had that third quarterback to play in that NFC Championship game? What if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt? I mean, that would have been a story of the century, to have Brock Purdy as a 7th round pick come in there, save save the season when he got in there in that Miami game, and then the rest of the games, and hopefully that he would have been healthy enough to get us to the Super Bowl. But that's all behind us now, and so hopefully we can have a really good season next year, like we had this season. And I gotta frankly tell everybody, the San Francisco 49ers, we as fans, we've been uh, we've been kind of spoiled lately as far as wins and everything. So that's really good. I love to have that. That's better than not having a really good team out there. And so whatever they do this year is going to be, um, I think they're going to build that, still have that core of players that'll help us get back to the NFC Championship game and hopefully into a Super Bowl next year. So 2023, looking forward to it. It's good Wednesday news that Brock Purdy, February 22nd, that he's going to get surgery out there in Texas. He's going to fly out there and then get his surgery done, and then hopefully he's throwing in 3 months, and in 6 months he can have a healthy quarterback competition with Trey Lance and himself. And Trey Lance is also dealing with his injury and coming back from that. So we'll see how that plays out going into the season. And it's a long time between now and then, so a lot of things could happen between February. I don't know what day it is today. This Wednesday of February 7th or 8th, and August. So we'll see what happens between now and then. So, all right, guys. Hey, if you guys are streaming today, put it in the comments. Let me know. It'll be a good day here today to talk 49er news, 49er football, and all the kind of 49er stuff that we want to talk about. So we got David Monty. What's up, man? He's up in Layton, Utah. Yep, I'm down here in St. George, Utah. So if you want to, every time you come down to St. George, let me know. We have a lot of fun activity stuff out here, and we'll be doing a lot of barbecues with a lot of people out here too. So come on down. And that's for everybody, man. We're good. All right, so that's the news for today. Brock Purdy having the good news, and it's going to be a good off season. I don't want to talk much about the Super Bowl, but I got the Chiefs winning that one. I see it like a 10-point win for the Chiefs. So hopefully they can overcome that Eagles defense, but it's going to be a good one. So, all right, everybody. So thanks everybody for joining me here today. Hit the like button, subscribe, share with all your friends of the channel. at Big Mac Sports. That's at Big Mac Sports on YouTube and on Twitter. So till the next one, appreciate everybody. Thank you.